LinkedIn is pointless and serves absolutely zero purpose. It is arguably the least valuable social media out there. I'm at my current job because a headhunter found and contacted me on LinkedIn. I use it as a contact list. Good for keeping track of business contacts when they move company, etc. LinkedIn is very valuable if you're a professional who is actively looking for a job. Many job offers and careers are started by creating a LinkedIn profile and a recruiter seeing it. LinkedIn has landed me my last few gigs through connections. I think it depends on the industry and even area you're in. I've had success with it, as have many of my contacts. As someone who got his last job through it, several other people jobs, and around 10 speaking engagements from it. Disagree. People get recruited through it, that's a point. I hate LinkedIn for a different reason. Thought Instagram bragging was bad? Well, LinkedIn bragging is just 1000x worse. No, I'm not jealous, I am happy with my current job. I just fucking hate people bragging of nonsense job-related achievements. If LinkedIn was only about staying in contact with business partners or finding new jobs, fine. But it's not. It's a shit show of people trying to outshine each other in the worst, most unimpressive way. You went to a conference? Your company is launching a new product? No one fucking cares. Unless you have a clear goal, like finding a new job, LinkedIn is a thing I generally try to avoid. Besides of low-value content, the thing that bugs me the most is toxic positivity, especially work-related. People bragging who loves their work more, how much free time they spend working/learning new stuff that can be applied only on their job. Saddest thing being that most of the people doing that do not even have great jobs, they work for barely above minimum wage, but hey, workplace do give free snacks on Fridays 'cause you know, we are family here. LinkedIn has a purpose. If a business or employee are serious about it, don't waste your time with them. I work in IT and lost my previous job at the beginning of this year. Through LinkedIn I had many opportunities coming from dozens of recruiters who were finding the candidates and saw my LinkedIn profile and got many job offers within a month. I landed my dream job only a month after being fired. After that I never used the site again, but I never would get what I want if it weren't for the connections the site gave me. Depends on your industry and physical location. In high tech in Silicon Valley, you simply do not exist if you don't have a LinkedIn. Have you been using it as a place to collect recommendations from past colleagues and supervisors? Written any research articles on the platform? Tracked awards? I mostly agree with you, but like any large international platform, it is what you make of it. I absolutely tell people to find me on LinkedIn because it can convey more about my career path and define success than anything I could state out loud or fit on a resume. It can provide tremendous credibility. For example, I have a Zoom with a prospective lawyer client tomorrow, and I already know he's explored my profile on LinkedIn. That's powerful. LinkedIn is only pointless to those who haven't figured out how to use it yet. The connections you make on LinkedIn can lead to some huge opportunity if you play your cards right. It's just weird. People there are always trying to look professional, positive, and fake, hireable. This belongs in r/uneducated opinions because you clearly don't understand LinkedIn or its value. Every job I've had over the last 6 years I got from LinkedIn connections. Their job board is the best. Recruiters can find you easily. You can do many background checks on your bosses and your company. It is absurdly valuable to anyone attempting to work within the system. Learn how to use it better. Ever heard of Pinterest? I got my last 4 jobs from LinkedIn recruiters. My salary went from 58K, Funk Analyst, to 80K, Junior Software Engineer, to 120K, Senior IT Consultant, to 140K, Senior Engineer. All in less than 5 years. Don't post anything personal on it. Just keep it professional. Don't list your full resume. Just summary of what you did and years at what companies. I also link with coworkers to see what certs or qualifications people have so I can keep up with industry standards. I don't add strangers, but if they are in my field, I will. My LinkedIn profile helped me find my dream job and effectively connected me to the recruiter who would become not only my liaison to that job but one of my most trusted professional friends and contacts. It depends on your industry, like hospitality is an industry I think is not served well on LinkedIn, semi-intended pun, but anybody in any sort of corporate role would see the value of a LinkedIn profile. I can see your point, but it did connect me with my current gig, so I can't fully agree since my current company/job got me 6 figures and some other perks that will help me grow, and the company itself offered me a $1,500 bonus per person I recommended, got 1 former colleague and 2 people I had on my LinkedIn hired. It's there to land you jobs, not act as a social media site. Yap, not true. Headhunters use LinkedIn and I have been contacted by new clients for my current job as an engineer consultant for jobs via LinkedIn. It's not a social media platform that you use and abuse like Twitter or FB, but if you have a targeted goal, it's like a virtual Rolodex. Edit: this opinion is unpopular due to ignorance of how to properly use the platform, not that the platform itself is useless. It's a job board and a nice pile of digital resumes. My current job asked me to update mine so they could include it when they sent some proposals to a new client. Sure, we could have written up a new resume and included a dozen in the packet we sent over to them, but the online presence feels more like a real person than a faceless resume added to a stack of paperwork. I hate LinkedIn, and all it's good for is to have recruiters bug you for jobs you don't want and snoop on you for jobs you do. It's good for business contacts and getting the odd job here and there. That's about it. I totally agree. Maybe the idea of LinkedIn isn't that you can talk to your boss after you already get a job, but to help you connect with people who have similar jobs and help you network and get opportunities you otherwise wouldn't. TikTok is way less valuable. I think some like myself are looking for a non-leftist social networking site, not sure of the political affiliation for LinkedIn. That's a good thing. If you are in sales, LinkedIn is a great resource to do some research on possible clients. It also is a decent way to network and find jobs. I personally don't care for it, but I know people who are successful at utilizing it some. I think it's no worse than any other social media and just has a professional theme to it, which I think works well enough. LinkedIn is a great tool and very valuable for professionals to use to increase knowledge in their field, to network and engage with potential customers/partners and clients. When used correctly, LinkedIn is a great asset and can definitely help in your business, personal brand, and job search success. Disagree, I'd say Reddit is way more useless. It's actually one of the only useful social media platforms, especially in fields like business where you need to network or find jobs. At least it's not a cesspool like all other social media platforms. Not really an unpopular opinion, just an uninformed one. I do international business and use LinkedIn to find out information about people I'm going to meet. I'm also interested in business activities related to my industry. Sometimes I use LinkedIn to see if someone is legit or a scammer. I've used LinkedIn for recruitment. Glassdoor is a close second. I applied and got my job through LinkedIn. My employer got all my info including my resume on LinkedIn. So yes, you are correct, your opinion is unpopular. In IT in Europe you simply do not exist without LinkedIn. And that's probably the case with most other engineering jobs as well. Also, it's not even social media per se, it was never intended for socialization and leisure/fun. Its main purpose is networking, creating a network of people sharing a common interest, which evolved in a way of facilitating jobs. Your opinion is indeed unpopular, but only because it's misinformed. Yes and no. As part of my overall marketing job, I often do social media plans for companies and most tend to ask about LinkedIn and whether or not they should be active on there. It's a solid place to look for recruitment or people to recruit in a more casual manner. Asking to connect with someone and popping in their inbox with a message is a lot less stressful for everybody. I have a LinkedIn since I work freelance and I post some stuff I do on there and I get contacted frequently with offers. However, if you think your company will garner leads/fans/customers through LinkedIn, you're wasting your time mostly because Instagram is 10x better. I got my current job through a headhunter on LinkedIn, so I have to disagree. I actually use LinkedIn quite a bit to connect with people and spread my business. It's helpful for those of us who choose not to let Facebook own our identity. How long have you been in the job market? LinkedIn is insanely useful. Really, the worst part of it is the professional, corporate bootlicker culture on the site. It's a nightmare. It depends the country. I've gotten multiple job offers and interviews through LinkedIn. I think I understand your problem. LinkedIn is only useful for people with jobs. It's okay, LinkedIn can't hurt you anymore. It is the online hub for fake corporate inauthenticity. People with no personality whose entire life is being at their job. Agree 100%. Most pointless social site ever. LinkedIn makes me feel paranoid. I weigh everything I post carefully. It's the least social media. Instead of having fun, some soulless corporation has its arm up your arse. Fuck LinkedIn. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty unpopular. LinkedIn is arguably the most valuable of social media when it comes to professional job recruiting and finding new opportunities. LinkedIn is the only social media that actually is worth having. I think the main useful thing about LinkedIn is that helps employers find you, rather than the more traditional way of you having to find them. That said, I haven't really used it much either. But I have had a few job offers come through it, just not ones that interested me enough to want to resign from where I was. Not the best platform for low-wage jobs, that is for sure. Why is it considered a social media platform? I get the technical meaning, but it's supposed to be professional, not social. Maybe that's the problem. LinkedIn is pretty cool because it connects with you experts as you expand your network. And that's more experts to ask questions about the industry. Sure, not everyone will get back to you, but a little patience and persistence and you can get expert advice and opinions. And someday become the expert yourself. At least that's what I'm understanding from it. Stay away from the feed. It's quite useful for applying to jobs. I thought its purpose was basically as a public resume so any interested parties can search for and contact you if they like what they see, as opposed to having to submit applications manually to every company or hosting your own website with links and shit. Now admittedly that probably only really works out for mid or senior level professionals who have actual desirability compared to random interchangeable entry level types with no experience, but still it would seem to be a stretch to call that useless. I've found all of my most recent positions on LinkedIn and I strictly don't accept anyone that I don't know firsthand, which is the point of the platform. Nowadays the job search process is all about who you know and the connections you have, unfortunately, and that's where LinkedIn comes in as being extremely beneficial when you only connect with those you know. I work for a big company, lots of different roles one could potentially be promoted to. Even for uneducated. They got signs all over saying to go to LinkedIn Learning. Never been on the site to learn anything, but I mean there's that. We have our own training program that you can already access almost anyone's training literature if you wanted. LinkedIn certainly has its uses and is very beneficial. I used it to job hunt to no avail, but it's still a good platform for that and other business things. Plus you can network and connect with people, see how people you know are doing career-wise, and so on. That being said, I don't get it on it often. I do think as a social media platform it sucks and its UI is trash. I'd like to see less politically infused posts and keep the app to being just about business. I feel that LinkedIn is heading into a Facebook-esque direction as a social media platform, and I for one hate that. It's become too much of a Facebook-like platform for my liking. First props, been reading the comments, and this is the rare unpopular opinion on this site. I think it really depends on your field and the situation. I am an uneducated middling office worker who has little goals or aspirations and works a dead-end job for a local small business. I don't even have things that encourage me to use LinkedIn. In contrast, my friend is a mid-level manager being groomed for exec at a major IT firm out of Canada, and she uses LinkedIn to headhunt, organize events and connect with all kinds of contacts, from clients or potential clients to vendors and colleagues, while always maintaining a sense of professionalism that all the alternatives do not have. I created a profile on LinkedIn a few years back when I was job hunting, and it served its purpose, I suppose. I rarely log in anymore, but it did let me know that my abusive ex from about 15 years ago had been snooping on my profile. Fun times. LMAO no? Found my ideal internship all because of LinkedIn. I got my job from LinkedIn. I use it as an aggregator of articles related to my profession, which can be helpful. I sell to lawyers at top-tier firms. They are all on LinkedIn. I hire people from LinkedIn connections all the time. Dozens at this point. The first thing I do is review their profile, connections, their portfolio, and make the determination if I want to talk to them. If I do, I'll forward this info to a producer to get in contact with them, and we move on from there. This is probably more to do with skill and pay level of an open position. I need to know more than what's in your resume before wasting my time talking to random people who may or may not actually be part of circles of highly skilled individuals. In my industry, if you don't have a LinkedIn, you don't have a chance. I'm not willing to interview someone for a six-figure position if you're not capable of keeping your LinkedIn in up-to-date and detailed. It is really helpful for finding jobs, especially if you have professional skills. That being said, I still really hate the platform. Maybe LinkedIn was once something really educational, now it's been hijacked by influencers and startup CEOs that are basically smelling their own farts, and average people worshipping them. That's why I mainly use Reddit for social media, because it hasn't been taken over, yet, by these people. Honestly, thank you for putting this out there. I've been thinking this about LinkedIn the whole year and just glad other people see this/feel this way too. True. This isn't an unpopular opinion. I had one for years, never got a single message on it because you have to know someone to expand your network, and I didn't know anyone. I don't see the value in it if there's no way to expand your network with no contacts. I agree with you, I only use it for jobs and it's so annoying. Sometimes people will try and hire me through the LinkedIn messages and I'll never see it. Call, email or text me, geez lol. I only use it to send out resumes. I say on my resume my methods of contact, and LinkedIn isn't an option. They also try get dumb information from me to create a profile, and they send me too many emails. They ask you sign up for emails before you're able to apply for each job. I always click exit on that part. Useless. I don't think it works when you're working a job. But when you're a professional looking for a career, it's one of the best tools. I honestly don't know what the fuck LinkedIn is. Dude. It's a scam. It latches onto your personal information and doesn't let go. Also, it's very hard to opt out or delete your profile. I guess upvoted for being an unpopular opinion, because it's incorrect. If LinkedIn is not doing anything for you, it's because you are using it incorrectly, in an industry that doesn't make use of it, or you don't understand what it's for.